let's jump right in. I'm going to first draw my square, and you'll notice I'm tracing imaginary lines before I actually mark down the lines of my square. And this is just a quick technique to help me make sure that my square is aligned with the rest of my sketches on this page. Now, the next step is for me to find some primary reference lines in my scene, and I've started with some rough lines at the bottom of the page that will become a sidewalk, and then also the corner of the building, that vertical line down the middle. And these reference lines just help me to add the detail like this doorway that I'm drawing now, which I should probably take a moment to explain my concept of the primary reference lines. One of the trickier aspects to urban sketching, and sketching in general, is the ability to place the right detail in the right spot. Many times, beginner artists struggle with their proportions. I went through it. I'm sure you've gone through it or are going through it. But one of the techniques that I use to make sure my proportions are as close to accurate as possible is to use those primary lines. This is the part that I don't rush. I want to make sure that my initial lines are as accurate as possible, as I'll be placing most of the rest of my detail based off of those lines. For example, the corner of the building here is the vertical line that goes down the middle of my scene. And this is an example of one of those primary reference lines. For example, this entryway here that I'm working on was placed by using the corner line as a reference. So by placing your lines throughout the scene, you can use those references to really help you add detail in the correct spots and tighten up the proportions in your sketch. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the pen that I'm using. The one thing I enjoy about sketching with a ballpoint pen is the tactile feeling of that pen on paper, and also how clean of a line it can draw. I'm a really big fan of these Pilot G2 fine-tipped pens. I'm using the 0.5 millimeter for these sketches. I have some videos coming out where I'll be using the 1 millimeter. I really enjoy how the ink takes to the paper. When I'm doing actual illustration work, I will switch over and use a micron fine liner, but for sketching, these Pilot G2s work great. In fact, I like these pens so much that I use them in my normal day-to-day life. For me, they kind of make writing more fun. Okay, so at this point, I've started to add the windows on the left side of the building, and you'll notice that I sketched a few perspective lines. These lines are going to just help me get those windows in the correct perspective, and since this is a practice sketch, I really don't mind those extra lines on my page. In fact, it's going to kind of add to that loose quality of the line work. And as you'll see, once I start adding the shading, those lines don't really take away from the final image at all. Now, I'm going to move on to the bottom set of windows, and I want to talk to you about what you don't see me doing. What's going on is that I am making sure that these vertical lines that I'm placing for the windows, the bottom set of windows, are following the same lines as the top set of windows. This goes back to the concept of reference lines that I was talking to you about earlier. As you build out the detail in your scene, you have new reference lines that you can use to help place your detail. So for example, the top windows become the new reference lines that I'm using to place my bottom windows. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the sidewalk down here and switch over to the shading. And I'm going to start with my Copic N2 natural gray marker. I'm going to apply this color to the entire building face. I typically like to start with the lighter shades of gray and work my way to the darker shades. Now, I've mentioned in previous videos, but when I'm looking at my reference photo, I'm visually breaking apart the values that I'm seeing into different shades of gray. And in this case, I have separated the scene into 3 shades of gray plus white. And as you can see, I've started with the lightest shade and moved on to the medium shade for the shadows. Once I cover the right side of the building, I will pick back up my light shade and start to fill in some missing spots, but once that's done, I'll jump back over to the medium gray and move over to the left side of the building, and this is where I'm going to start adding that shadow detail below the doorways and ledges on that left side. And the contrast created by adding these shadows, I think, really starts to make this sketch pop. Now, I will continue to fill in the rest of the small details, like the windows and the doorsteps, but at this point, I'm working my way back and forth between the light and medium shades of gray in order just to capture that detail. And then when I'm finished, the last thing I'm going to do is pick up that dark gray, and this is really for the deepest shadows. It really allows me to add more contrast to the right side of the building that's already in shadow. And that's it. I really hope you've enjoyed this video.